this meeting to order. If everyone please stand. And Alderman Ben Stock is going to lead us in a prayer tonight.
Did you know that Kirk means church? And in honor of Charlie Church, I want to read 4 biblical verses that I think represent his life. Isaiah 6:8. Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? Who will go for us?" Then said, "Here am I, send me." Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not human masters. John 15:13. Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And fourth, 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Amen.
Amen. Alderman Sugar, if you'll lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Alderman Patrick.
Here.
Alderman Cross.
Here.
Alderman Sugar.
here.
Alderman Benstock.
Here.
Alderman Gillum.
Here.
Vice Mayor Bear.
Here.
Mayor Gibson.
Here. All right, just want to welcome everybody for coming out today. We've got quite a bit of business to get to and important things to go over, so we'll just go ahead and start with looking for a motion for approval and correction of the minutes from the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting dated August 28, 2025, monthly financial reports and department reports.
So moved.
I have a motion by Alderman Benstock, second.
I'll second that.
Second by Vice Mayor Bear. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'll move us into visitor comments. Who do we have here who would like to speak tonight? Go ahead, Ms. Christian.
I'd like to hand some information out.
Thank you.
My name is Kathy Christian. I am actually the outreach coordinator for Churchill Medical Mission. The former director recently stepped down and took a new position because I'm old as dirt and I don't want to do the hard stuff anymore. Churchill Medical Mission is a free clinic that was established in the year 2000. So we've been serving our community, our uninsured, low-income community for the past 20 years. Did anybody want? For the last 20 years. We recently received the resiliency grant from the state of Tennessee, $1.9 million. We spent the last 25 years in we started in the food pantry in Churchill and then moved to a 1,700 square feet facility with no windows, very small. We received the grant and we've been able to move into a 5,400 square feet facility, which is what you see here. I wanted to come up here and just share with you, even though the name on it says Churchill, we serve a good number of our patients actually come from Mount Carmel. We serve Hawkins, Hancock. We serve all the surrounding counties. And again, we serve uninsured, low income at or below 200% of the poverty level. In my new position as the outreach coordinator, one of the things that I need to do is to get out and let you guys know that we're available. You have a lot of your community who are not aware of what we do, and we really want to bring them in. So, you know, we've got a lot of people that don't have insurance, don't know where to go. Like I said, we've been there 25 years, and I can go to Food City right now and say, oh, I work for the free clinic. And somebody will go, we have a free clinic in Hawkins County. So I want to just get out, let you guys know that we're available. The office number is in here. A lot of information is in here. But I would love to be able to help Mount Carmel. And if there's anything that we can do, if you all know of any places that I can go to recruit patients, to make sure that your people who are sick and need free doctors and free medication. Last year we had about $1.66 million in free medication. We have a diabetes clinic, it's free, insulin is free, and you know how expensive that is. So I'm going to end on that note. I will give you a little funny. My husband always used to say, Kathy, you know in Proverbs it says with a multitude of words comes sin. I kind of qualify. So does anybody have any questions?
Thank you so much, Ms. Christian.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I'm Garrett White, 421 Old Hickory Circle here in Mount Carmel. I just wanted to thank the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, the City Manager, and the Fire Chief for helping support our church in our honor flight when we support the veterans on their trip. They'll be leaving from the church, Crossroads Methodist Church, on October the 10th at 7 o'clock in the morning. Then they'll be coming back October the 12th around 4 o'clock. Actually, they'll be here about 5 o'clock. But as I mentioned, we want the fire truck and the flags and all that there around 4. Make sure we're there when they get back. And it's really a wonderful thing for the veterans. And if you know anybody that would like to go on the trip, there'll be somebody there with us, both when they leave and when they come back, that can go over with them and give them the information they need. Again, thank you all for your support.
Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you, Garrett. Anybody else? All right, so we'll move on then to the agenda, starting with old business. Agenda item A, discussion and consideration wastewater treatment plant improvements, phase 1B bids and budgets. Budget.
I sent the cover memo for you. So we've gone through 2 bid processes for the construction for phase 1B. The first bid process resulted in somebody coming in at approximately $1.9 million over the budgeted amount. We only had 1 bidder. The second attempt at that resulted in no bids. So we're at a crossroads here. The engineering firm wanted to put it out for 5 or 6 weeks again, pushing us into the deadlines and the milestones that TDEC has established. So I want to bring it forward to you all for board action on what direction you would like to go. I gave you 2 options: is we continue down this path, or we start anew. The problem with that is it puts us so far behind the timeline that I'm pretty sure the ARPA funds will not be available by the time we get done going through a whole new process. So, well, staff didn't make a recommendation. My personal recommendation is to not start anew and continue on. I say all that to say we want to make sure we give enough time for a bidder to put in the bid, but I think 5 to 6 weeks is too long. And so if we can come to some other level of agreement there with the engineering firm, I will look to do that. And I know that the engineering firm is in the room to have this conversation. So that's all I have for you right now. You know, we're going to be entering into the fall and the winter months. If I wait 5 or 6 weeks, by the time we actually get construction started, now I'm going to have winter delays. And ARPA, we're at the end stages of the ARPA funding. So they're not real excited about delays and not meeting their deadlines. So we're going forward as if we received an extension. However, they don't give you a way of requesting a formal extension. So we're continuing to progress. And if we show progression, I believe that we'll be okay. If we don't show progression, then that'll be a problem. So that's what I have for you all.
That being said, does anybody like to make a motion in regards to this agenda item? To get it on the floor for discussion.
Make a motion.
to,
Second.
hold on.
For
one second.
discussion, open it for discussion.
To open it for discussion, all right, so the floor is open for discussion for the two items. We're going to, so the motion would have to be made to do one or the other, right?
You do not have to pick an option. You
Right,
can
well,
push
we
it
don't have
back
to
to
pick an
me
option.
to continue to manage the process. What I didn't want to happen is I'm managing the process and you don't know where we're at.
Correct.
And now I come to you at one meeting and say, hey, we're in trouble here. So I want you informed. You do not have to select one of the options. You can allow me to continue to manage it, but I'm not, in the interest of full disclosure and making sure you all are informed, I wanted to bring these forward to you.
How much did we have in ARPA again? Yeah, I know it was over $1 million, but I can't remember. what
It's
that
$1.2
was
million. It's $1.2 million for this particular phase of the grant, and then the town matches $400,000. So the total budget is 1.6, I believe, is what I got from First Tennessee Development District.
And this was the cost of the original was when we had this done originally 3-4 years ago, so we were
Correct.
going off the price at that time.
Correct. And that's the other part of this is I think that, we may be able to have a competitive process with multiple bidders, but the cost of services and prices and everything else has risen obviously exponentially over the last 3 years. So what I will recommend in the future is that we as a town stay on top of that to make sure that we're in consult with the engineering firms that we have to kind of revisit the budget that's created. Because, I can create long range plans, but when the economy, shows an inflationary rate of 6 or 8% over a year, that's a problem. Or when the supply chain gets impacted and you see 20 or 30% increases in metals and concretes and those types of things for construction. So I share all that to say, the reality of the budget is now we do have clarity from the First Tennessee Development District as well. If we don't have enough to finish every one of the components of Phase 1B, we are able to adjust. But what we have to do is we have to finish whatever components we start. You can't start all 3 components and only finish one of them. You must complete the entire component. So I have married up our operators and our engineering firm to make sure that when and if we get to a place where that's a conversation point, that we are making that decision collaboratively instead of they're making the decision or we're making the decision in a vacuum.
So I guess the biggest thing, the biggest action item that we would have to look at today is if we were wanting to proceed with going through option 2 of terminating the agreement with the engineering firm, starting the process over, which to me, I mean, while we might not have quite be pleased with the way it's been going before, that drastic of a step would
Not look good with the state.
not only that, it wouldn't look good with the state, but it's also going to starting this whole process over again would be, I really think we'd put those ARPA funds at risk.
We would not be able to go out into construction, in my opinion, until the first of the year. And that certainly is going to put us way too far behind. I don't want to blame the engineering firm for all of these shortfalls. Over time, the town has made some missteps. The engineering firm, and there hasn't been as much collaborative communication as has occurred since my tenure. So I say all that to say, I don't want the engineering firm to take a butt whipping that they don't deserve. And in all honesty, I think that there's shared responsibility with where we're at and where we're trying to go. I think that staying with them brings us to a better closure place than restarting the process and pushing us back by 3 months.
I agree with that. So with that being said, if we're just going to continue allowing you to manage that project with the engineering firm, kind of figure out if that's going to be a 4 to 6 week bid process or whatever that might look like, you really wouldn't need any action from us tonight, would you?
No.
Okay.
y'all can just take it as advisement and move on. You're not required to act on.
Is anybody wanting to action this item?
Did you say the engineering people's here?
Yes.
Can we hear it from what their opinion is?
Yes. Thank you. My name is Matthew Porter. I am the department manager for the design group with JMT. I am not a utility engineer by trade. I'm a highway engineer. I do have Mark Milnarski, who's our PM for water, wastewater. So we've been working for Mount Carmel for a long time, formerly Vaughn and Melton. JMT started in 2022. Last year was a big year for y'all and us. At the same time, the previous town manager left, our project engineer left as well, and he was the one that was into the treatment side of things. So we had to bring in people from our Baltimore office, and so that was part of where the communication started dropping off, as well as a new operator coming in to help with your plant. So there was a hiccup last year. I do appreciate Mr. Stables for how involved he has been and trying to get everything back on course. So it's been a little bit of a rocky road, but we believe we're in a good place. We have met all our dates up to this point. The biggest thing was only having that one bid caused the problem. If we had had multiple bids and y'all were able to make a decision, the selection of a contractor, we'd be fine, because the next date is the end of November, where they come out and do an inspection just to make sure that construction has started. Now, I will say you are not the only ones talking about this. The problem is when they have a schedule with everything and it all comes down to the same time, there's going to be suddenly several projects put out on the street. And now the contractors get to pick what they want. We do have other clients that are going through the same thing. We're getting one bid that's high, or we're not getting any bids at all. So I agree, terminating our contract will slow it down. It'll slow it down quite a bit, because getting a new engineer, they can't just take our plans. They would have to have time to make sure that that engineer was good with it, because then they would have to sign and seal it. At this point, moving forward, we may be able to come to an agreement that's not 5 to 6 weeks, but based on conversations with the contractors, they do want a little more time. We did have we reached out to Mr. Stables regarding, who asked about Garney had reached out about an extension. We did not receive an answer. So, Herrick reached out. We did not receive an answer in time to extend it, and so it ended on that second one. But I think we can come to an agreement to have a determined amount of time. It's maybe 3 to 4 weeks, and that'll at least get us started where y'all can select a contractor and we can get them moving on the project before that November date where they come out for inspection. But we work closely with First Tennessee Development District. They are having conversations with TDEC because this is becoming a problem, and they're trying to figure out how to either come up with an extension process, because several communities are running into this issue with contractors.
I was involved in that phone call with TDEC, just for your information as well. And he's stating the fact that this is a global problem for the state of Tennessee and what's happening with TDEC's milestones that they've put on things and deadlines. So I know the First Tennessee Development District is asking for more formal guidance on how do we do this, how do we request an extension, how do we get an extension granted. But the answer back was go forward as if the grant or the extension has been granted. So I think that puts us in a good place. What I would prefer to have happen is by your October meeting, we're coming back and moving it there. That puts us at about 3 weeks, which means we've got to turn that bid out sooner than later and actively participate in that bid process as well. I know our operator has sent a couple of folks forward. If there's questions, if there's requests for extensions or whatever, please make sure that that gets funneled through so we can act upon it in a timely manner.
Mayor, would 3 weeks be okay?
You don't have to limit it.
No,
From the
I
board, it
wouldn't
would
want to,
probably be
I don't
better.
want to define it, but I just, if everybody's in kind of consent with, allowing Mr. Stables to proceed with kind of this, working with the engineering firm, then I believe we wouldn't have to necessarily take action. It's more of just making sure everybody's on the same page where it's at, and making sure that we're staying on top of this so that we are fiscally responsible with that ARPA money, that we take advantage of every penny of it. Yes, I'm good with staying course right now. I think we're too deep right now to try to do anything and put that funding at risk. Anybody else have any other conversation or discussion on that? Since we do have a motion on the floor, we just need to take a vote to proceed as is currently, or withdraw the motion. We had a motion for discussion on the floor.
Basically, a motion allowing Mr. Stables to continue
proceed forward.
negotiations regarding
Is
the
that,
Yeah.
implementation.
and then you still good with the second on that?
Yes, second.
All right. So with that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. So that'll take us then to item number B, or old business item B, discussion and consideration, resolution 25-658, amendment to the personnel policies and procedures.
At your last meeting, there was a motion and action to adjust the personnel policies and procedures. This is just the ministerial fact of bringing it back to you all with the changes as written. In section 4. Apologize, give me a second. Where are these?
4.3.
Thank you.
Page 11.
4.4.
Page 411, or page 11, section 4.3. The change that was made, and I'm going to read the whole statement. It says, the town shall recognize and observe all holidays officially designated by the federal government, including any future amendments, deletions, or additions to the federal holiday schedule, which shall be automatically incorporated herein, except the Juneteenth holiday, which shall be replaced with National Election Day, which is the Tuesday next after the first Monday in November of even-numbered years. And that holiday is defined in the rubric as well. So that was the change, but I wanted to make sure that it came back to you so you all know what was done.
Entertain a motion for this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
No, second.
So I have a motion by Alderman Benstock, second by Alderman Cross. Any further discussion on this?
I'm just curious in regards to the verbiage when it says the town shall recognize and observe all holidays officially designated by the federal government. So out of all the holidays here, I'm just wondering why we're choosing Juneteenth out of all the holidays.
I can only answer for, that's what the board action was, and it was a majority vote for moving in that direction. I just execute on what you asked me to do.
I know I understand that. I'm just, I wasn't here for that. So I'm just trying to understand why we're using this or choosing out of all these holidays, that one.
To remove the June 10th holiday into Election Day.
That's not a federal holiday.
But in the latter part of that paragraph, it does talk about the town's ability to assign additional holidays. For example, Christmas Eve and the day after Thanksgiving are added holidays that aren't necessarily recognized by the federal government. So that is contained within that document as well. That it was already existing language. The only thing I read to you was the changed language for what the board action was at the meeting you were not at.
But I'm still just wanting to know why. I mean, there's got to be a reason that we singled out one holiday out of all of them.
Is that all your comments, Alderman?
Yep.
Thank you. So I'll just to add on that, I agree with the language comment that when you read this, it basically says that if the federal government makes a holiday by this resolution or this policy, it becomes a holiday in Mount Carmel as well.
Correct.
But then when you read further, it does say except for this one, which, again, I agree with your questioning of why, Alderman Sugar. But then further we go and make a conflicting policy by saying shall be replaced with a national election day, which is every even years. And I have passed out to everybody here a state statute, which is TCA 2-1-106. Any persons entitled to work, vote in an election held in Tennessee is entitled to take a reasonable amount of time off from work, up to 3 hours. And you can read the rest of it. I won't read the whole statute there, but that basically just says that for any election day, not just the presidential election, any election day, that our employees would get up to 3 hours paid off to go vote. So just looking at the way this is written, it's saying that we're going to shut down business operations every other year on election day. But they're entitled to 3 days off to go vote.
3 hours.
3 hours, I'm sorry, 3 hours to go vote. And so I just think that we're making a policy conflicting here, and then also question why we're singling the one out when we have a policy that just says that our holiday schedule will be set by the federal government.
Probably not going to get an answer.
Do we have any other discussion on that?
I'm in agreement with you and Alderman Sugar. We're taking away every year holiday and going to every 2-year holiday. So we're taking away instead of giving.
With no explanation.
Yes, without a solid explanation.
And that there would just be some, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Are you finished, Alderman?
Yes.
That is the same day half of this board gets elected.
Yes.
Just to point that out. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Alderman Patrick,
Yes.
Alderman Cross,
Yes.
Alderman Schubert,
No.
Alderman Benstock,
Yes.
Alderman Gillum.
Yep.
Vice Mayor Bear,
No.
Mayor Gibson.
No. Motion carries. So I'll take us into item number A, discussion and consideration resolution 25-659, annual performance review of the town administrator and manager and modification of employment agreement. Entertain a motion to bring this up for discussion.
I make a motion.
So I have a motion by Alderman Benstock, second by Alderman Sugar. Floor is open for discussion on this item. I'll get to it. So, in front of you, the documentation kind of, this resolution kind of formalizes the performance review of Mr. Stables serving as a town administrator and establishes certain benefits, conditions for his continued employment as a town administrator, town manager through modification of the employment agreement.
So attached in this packet is obviously the resolution. There is a collective evaluation from the 6 of you that participated that came out to an average of 4s on that evaluation process. I've also included the supporting documentation of what you all did as collectively, and it allows me to go back and look at specific sections where I may have fallen short or where I may have done well, so I can build upon that and get better. So that's the other reason for this process, and I've broken it out into those attached sheets for your purview. And then the collective data is the final pages, 3 pages, that shows the grading and the average that was established. And I can answer any questions you may have to that. And then the last pages is the contract adjustment.
I'm gonna
Yes.
ask a question on this.
Yes, sir.
Is this gonna be an ongoing thing for you to do a new contract every 6 months?
It's not every 6 months.
Or whatever, it's not a year.
It is a year.
Is this
I've been
what-
here a year.
Okay.
A year and a month
How
now.
many contracts have we signed? I can think of 2.
We signed his temporary contract and then we signed his permanent contract.
That's right. We had a temporary agreement originally,
Correct.
and we
For
made
6
that
months, and
permanently.
then I made it permanent.
Correct.
So now it puts you on annual,
Now I'm on an annual cycle going forward.
which means forecasting this next year, we should expect to be doing a review on you next August.
Correct. And unlike the other employees in the town, they're addressed through the budget process. I am not. I am not automatically calculated with the general employees of the town. That's why there's an agreement with me versus the employees of the town.
Well,
So when we make,
You've got a pretty good increase, the way I figure it up,
so it comes out to 3.98%.
and that puts you up to 84,000?
Correct.
Well, I'll stop that there.
Any other discussion? I just want to speak to the evaluation itself. I think by going through, and I looked through kind of everybody's feedback and everybody's responses, and there was a consistent notice that we were pretty calibrated in regards to our responses. Now everybody had different here and theirs, but I think there's an overall consensus to that. Mr. Stowe was doing a very good job here, and you've got us through a difficult time when you came in without the city manager, when the city manager left before. The wastewater plant, been working on that since day one, and I appreciate what you've done for us. And with that, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Patrick,
Yes.
Alderman Cross,
Yes.
Alderman Schubert,
Yes.
Alderman Benstock,
Yes.
Alderman Gillum,
No.
Vice Mayor Bear,
Yes.
Mayor Gibson.
Yes. So motion carries. Moving on to item number B, discussion and consideration memorandum of understanding between BAE Systems and the Town of Mount Carmel Fire Department. Entertain a motion to pass this.
I'll make a motion to open up for discussion.
Second.
Have a motion by Vice Mayor Bear, second by Alderman Benstock. Floor is open for discussion.
Chief, is this including our fireworks, before we set up over there for fireworks?
You could construe it that way. I mean, this is mostly a formalized agreement of what we've done in the past, where we do respond in the plant if they request from time to time. It also gives them a formal process to respond outside of the plant, should their staffing allow.
So
It's just another resource that's available.
because they're not like a municipality or covered with the interlocal agreement, that's a way to get them as a on paper
Correct.
way that they're part of the local agreement.
Right.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Patrick,
Yes.
Alderman Cross,
Yes.
Alderman Schubert,
Yes.
Alderman Benstock,
Yes.
Alderman Gillum, Vice Mayor Bear,
Yes.
Mayor Gibson.
Yes. That takes us to item number C, discussion and consideration surplus of fire department vehicle.
So as we've talked in the past, the police department brought surplus vehicles, fire departments brought surplus equipment before. This is right in line with that. With the new ladder truck coming online, we want to surplus the other. We want to go about it a different way than gov deals to begin with, and then we may end up at gov deals at some point. But we believe that we'll be able to get the best amount by going a different route than going gov deals first. So I say all that to say, the fire chief's here to talk about that, but that way the town is no longer maintaining this, and it is a drain on the maintenance budget for apparatus. So.
Yeah, I mean, just to elaborate on what Mr. Stable said, I mean, we talked about it in the workshop, but, we always come to ask for surpluses. I did ask for this one to have permission to list it through a broker agreement, through a used fire apparatus company, and that way, we can potentially get quite a bit more money for it that way. Not a guarantee, but it's worth a try before we go to gov deals and we take the low bidder.
From the conversations we had in the past, we talked about that could be a difference of $30,000+.
Yeah, I mean,
So I think it would be almost fiscally irresponsible just to throw it on gov deals.
right.
And just
Right.
like,
It's worth, I mean, the reality is
Yes.
it's worth a try.
Absolutely.
If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Absolutely. Is there any other discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Alderman Patrick,
Yes.
Alderman Cross,
Yes.
Alderman Schubert,
Yes.
Alderman Benstock,
Yes.
Alderman Gillum, Vice Mayor Bear,
Yes.
Mayor Gibson.
Yes. All right, so that concludes with the new business today. So for board comments, just want to appreciate everybody coming out tonight. I appreciate everybody coming out to the Fall Festival Saturday. And just as a reminder, we've got the fire truck push-in ceremony coming up tomorrow. Mitch, do you want to speak about that for just a second?
Yes, so we'll have the push-in for the new ladder truck tomorrow at 2. Invite everybody to come out for that. It'll be a great time, and a good community event. Don't want this to be super long, but that's a tradition that dates back, over 200 years. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, thank you, and we certainly appreciate what you do and the rest of our fire crew and volunteers and everybody out. So you just drive by that place and it just looks so different from the way it used to, and with the trucks out and everything. So I know a lot of work goes into making that happen. So we appreciate you. And I'll Vice Mayor.
I have nothing.
Alderman Patrick.
No.
Alderman Cross.
No.
Alderman Sugar.
I just want to thank everybody again for coming out to the Fall Festival. We had a great turnout. Every year it just grows and grows, and it does that because of the community support. I also want to mention that we have our upcoming trunk or treat on Main Street, so if you are interested in decorating your ride and handing out candy, please reach out to us so that way we can make room for you.
Thank you. Alderman Gillum.
No.
Alderman Benstock.
No, thanks.
Motion to adjourn.
So
Motion.
moved.
Have a motion by Alderman Benstock, second by Alderman Sugar. All in favor?
Aye.
Call this meeting.
I can't wait to make a quote.
For me,
It'll be for me.
I want